Hello everyone, before we start this SCP, I just want to say that this SCP starts in the Broken Masquerade. So basically, to put in a very small description, the Foundation and anomalies are no longer a secret to the public. So then now I'm going to hand it over to Assistant Narrator Richardson. Richardson here. And they've just given me not a very cute SCP, haven't they? Gosh. Well, let's get started, shall we? Item number, SCP-6115. Restriction level, Level 2 restricted. Containment class, safe. Disruption class, not applicable. Risk class, danger. Special containment procedures. SCP-6115-1 individuals are to be transferred to the nearest Foundation facility with medical equipment capable of treating SCP-6115. Per Foundation medical policy, patients must receive a clean bill of health or sign a waiver before being released. MTF Alpha 4 Pony Express is to destroy any instances of SCP-6115 found in the mail. Description: SCP-6115 refers to a blue-green gel-like substance. Typically, it is kept within a 4 by 1.5 by 12 cm cylindrical plastic container, which are held in paper packages. The anomaly is a thaumaturgically active substance with a number of effects on living tissue. SCP-6115-1 instances are humans who have had made skin contact with the anomaly. Upon initial contact with SCP-6115, a thaumaturgic sympathy bond forms, causing the body's energy processing and distribution mechanism to form an alternate organ system. Safely dispelling this bond is crucial to successful neutralization. After full implementation of these changes, the body is able to ecto-entropically maintain itself near indefinitely, using an anomalous process known as self-limosis. While in this state, the individual is able to produce energy on demand to power bodily organs. Low efficiency is typically too poor to allow motor function. This system does not utilize traditional boundaries between organs and bodily tissue, instead opting for an internal circulatory system with the confines of their body composed almost entirely of thaumaturgic medium fluids. There are several convection cycles within the SCP-6115-1 instance's body, which serve various purposes, such as ritual energy generation, repurposing waste, transmitting signals from the brain, and production of additional fluid. This extraneous production must be flushed from the system to prevent necrosis. In the early stages, this manifests through suffusion of fluid through pores in the skin. Because the ratio of SCP-6115 bile to mundane bodily fluids is low, most vented output is composed of the latter. Due to cycle formations being undeveloped early, distribution is poor, and parts of the individual skin bulges as fluid collects in various parts of the body. During this stage, the following symptoms are commonly reported: excessive bleeding, nausea and vomiting, toxic shock syndrome, situs consolidatus, merging of internal organs, hypodontia, usually due to dissolution of gum tissue, and headaches. Due to significant induced emesis, the SCP-6115 pamphlet notes that the generated anomalous fluids were specifically designed to handle this output. Indeed, any vomit melds with the skin and forms large, moss-like scabs after several minutes of contact. One concern paraphysicians should consider when treating SCP-6115-1 patients is the onset of thaumaturgic hypermaterialization. This is a consequence of SCP-6115's design. The presence of excess catalyst polyps in the original anomalous substance can stimulate excessive cell division. Due to the lack of a custom summoning frame, these tumorous growths extrude from any extremity they can, commonly targeting fingers, toes, eyes, nasal holes, and the tongue. These protrusions can grow significantly beyond normal bodily boundaries. The longest recorded incidence was 0.41 meters of a fleshy appendage attached to the subject's left thumb, which can cause discomfort in the host. It is at this point that the SCP-6115 pamphlet recommends calling the Foundation to report contact with the anomaly. End stage SCP-6115 is marked by the affected individual having a fully flexible form, with internal formic cycles replacing traditionally shaped organs and tissues. Because few civilians have training in anomalous self-image projection, mobility in this state is extremely difficult, and their body tends to take the shape of whatever container it is in. It is for this reason that most instances are found residing in their bathtub when Foundation medical personnel arrive. Continuous vomiting also ceases around this time, due to the lack of a traditional mouth. Despite severe symptoms, SCP-6115 is not usually fatal. Only 2.7% of infectees expire, usually as a result of medical complications from old age. Use of rectal thaumaturgic sunworm therapy in combination with blood warding has proven effective in healing affected individuals. Nearly all recovered individuals regrow lost organs and return to normal health within a month. Addendum 6115-1 Obligations under US law. In 2023, the American Parahealth Provider Act was passed by the US Congress and signed into law by the President. Written and sponsored by a senator from Vermont, the Act requires the Foundation, as a condition of its funding from the US government, to provide medical care to all otherwise non-anomalous US citizens and permanent residents who are experiencing negative health effects from interaction with anomalies. Most SCP-6115 instances are acquired via ASH, an online marketplace that sells anomalous goods. It is a subsidiary of Marshall Carter and Dark and is marketed towards low and middle income civilians, where they are sold for $20 each, plus shipping and handling. Because the Foundation has the technological capability to heal SCP-6115-1 instances, this law enforces a broad obligation to provide care for such civilians. Since 2025, the Foundation has received more than 170,000 patients annually who intentionally self-administered SCP-6115 because they had a serious, non-anomalous malady and could not afford health insurance. Blimey. God, you won't see me taking any kind of medicine like that. Anyway, this is Assistant Narrator Richardson signing out. Just don't buy that SCP, please. Hello, Creepy Otter here. I just want to say this SCP was written by aismallard or aismallard. I want to cover both bases just in case I said one of them wrong. Anyway, thank you so much for that SCP. Bit of body horror kind of thing, like it. Go to my Twitter in the description so you can see updates and check my Patreon out if you want to support me more. Shall see you in the next one. Goodbye.